I'm Colleen Derrick with Swagers Insurance. Welcome to Module 3 Mini Me's Now and Then. We're on 3.2 Investing Near and Far. Safety nets. If your kids need something, is there anything you won't pull? Anything you won't do to help them if they're sick or if something goes wrong? Which is why it's important to build in our safety nets. So with our kids, please do check out the insurance and life stages and consider critical illness for your children and life insurance for your children, because that will give you the cash you need if something goes wrong with your kids to leave your investments invested for the amount of time so you're not pulling them at a loss, you're not taking a tax hit. Insurance just gives you the cash you need. Safety net. And build yourself an emergency fund and know that your emergency fund for you was good. And remember, with emergency fund for you and the children, you're going to need to probably beef that up a little bit. And when we talk about the joy of missing out on some of the stuff now for the joy of things later to hit those goals, it gets complicated with children because we want to give them really good life experiences. And our culture is pushing more and more to give our children life on a silver platter and spoon feed it to them. I would encourage you to do some research on that, because we know actually that does not create great human beings. In fact, it actually harms our children. So please go back to square number one and remember, what does a healthy parent-child relationship look like? Usually the most effective and valuable and impacting thing is your time, your attention, your love. So if you have to sacrifice working 60 hours a week so that you have time with your kids, and that means that you're sacrificing some of your investments, that's okay. That's okay. Time value of money, I get it. It's not optimal, but you know what? In the big picture, we can work harder with what you have later, but you can't ever go back and get that time impact, that attention impact, that love impact back in a relationship with your kid. So it's not just about you knowing the joy of missing out on some of those things. It's also teaching them the joy of missing out and communicating that and saying, we are investing for our future, but I'm also taking less time at work so that I can be here to be with you, because you are the future. And communicate to them and teach them that. And when you have to make some of those harder choices of saying no to some sports activities, or no to perhaps a trip, no to buying them a car, and maybe you can help out with some of those things, because helping them makes you a collaborator. Giving it to them, they don't have anything invested. There is not their part to play in that. And you lose some value with that. So how does that impact our investments? Well, I would suggest that you do try to invest for the things that you want to be spending on your children, and limiting the other things that you're spending money on them in the now, so that there is something to commit to later, because you will probably want to help them maybe with some university, or perhaps starting a business, and to invest a bit of money now and leave that to grow so that it's there for them later. Well, that's a really good use of an investment strategy. But there has to be something to start with. And you working an 80-hour work week or a 60-hour work week and giving up the time so you can do that monetarily is usually not a really good trade-off. And so it's a bit of a balancing act. And remembering that the value of time is far greater than the time value of money. But the time value of money does make a difference. So some is better than none. And talking to your kids and having them pitch in and help and start some of their own investing early in a very safe manner. And if you can do that yourself, fantastic. And if you say, I can do it myself, But again, we're on this time crunch. I'd rather spend that time with my kids. Get a professional, offload some of that. That's what delegation is for. Find somebody who can be a collaboration with you and your kids and be a partnership in your team. Teach your children that we can have a partnership and how that structure and relationship interaction works. Because now not only are you getting more time, you're getting investment expertise, and you're teaching and modeling for your kid the value of team and collaboration and communication.